Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I will be discussing about a product not only has it been forgotten or taken for granted, but also it's something we Filipinos should be very much proud of. Textiles. What are textiles? Textiles refer to the materials that are made from fibers, thin threads, or filaments which are natural or manufactured, or even a combination. Textiles are created by interlocking these yarns in specific patterns, resulting in a length of cloth. Textiles can be something of a furniture, or it can be a chair, a sofa, or even a carpet. Now, in the history of textiles, the study of the history of clothing and textiles traces the development, use, and availability of clothes and textiles over human history. Clothing and textiles reflect the materials and technologies available in different civilizations at different times. The variety and the distribution of clothing and textiles within the society reveal social customs and culture. And that relates to the history of textiles in the Philippines. Now we all know here in Mindanao there are different ethnic groups that can be distinguished by the pattern of their textiles. We have the Yakan, the Tiboli, the Meranao or the Maranao, the Blaan, Magindanaon, Yakan, Tausug, and there are many more. The Republic of the Philippines textile industry was established in the 1950s under the principle of import substitution industrialization, which promotes producing goods domestically rather than importing them from other countries. The Philippine apparel manufacturing industry began in the late 1950s as a cottage industry that took over home sewing, dressmaking, and tailoring activities. Now, how are textiles made? This video will show you how a fabric is made. Now, please watch.
Fabric is made from thousands of braided threads. This mill has 700 bobbins of polyester. Each bobbin contains 250,000 meters of thread. We begin by separating the threads. This warp unit takes the 700 strands and assembles them. Then this comb separates them. Other strands are added, and in total, there will be 7,000 of them well aligned. One fabric is composed of threads braided at 90 degrees. The warp threads are assembled lengthwise, while the weft threads are joined transversely. To prevent the threads from tearing, they pass through a bin of glue. These rollers eliminate the surplus. The glue will be removed with water before dyeing the threads. The glued together threads exit this machine. These large green cylinders are heated and dry the glue on the threads. Knitting will soon begin. The 700 strands are newly separated on this loom roller. Each thread must pass through a blade to produce a specific design. This machine takes the 7,000 strands of thread one by one, and they pass through the blade. It's a highly precise operation. The threads pass through a blade, and the weaving finally begins. On this jacker-type loom roller, the warp thread is inserted by a jet of air. The weaving machine assembles two loom rollers made of 7,000 strands. The fabric reaches a width of 3.65 meters. The dart threads are inserted into the weave. They insert 600 weft strands per minute. The blades remove the weft strands to insert the warp ones between the two. A comb pushes the weft. The plate of the breakage chain stops the machine should a thread break. This bobbin contains 250,000 meters of thread. That's 250 kilometers. The weft thread is in the insertion nozzle. When a weft is inserted, an air jet nudges it in. The loom roller operates at full tilt. It makes 600 thread intersections a minute. Weaving is now over. We move on to the following steps: washing and dyeing. Washing is done in a soapy solution at 80 degrees in a continuous manner at a speed of 60 meters of fabric a minute. The fabric is rinsed in clear water of about 30 degrees. Now it's on to dyeing. This is done with jets. Up to 12,000 meters of fabric are placed in clean water into which colorants have been added. The solution is heated and the fabric soaks here for about 6 hours. Then it will be rinsed in lukewarm water. The fabric is placed in a bin. This machine is called an opener. It unfolds and stretches the material before rolling it up on an immense roller. And now the roll is almost full. We now move to thermosetting in a high-temperature oven which dries the fabric. The temperature is 200 degrees centigrade at the oven's entrance. The fabric circulates here for 45 seconds. This finished roll weighs 1,500 kilos. The bobbin that we saw at the beginning has produced 25 kilometers of fabric.
Now we all know how a fabric is made. Now we move on to our next topic. A famous textile originated in the Philippines. What is this famous textile? The piña, which is originated in Aklan and the community of Aklanon, is considered to be one of the finest Philippine textiles. The piña fabric is made of the fibers of leaves of the red Bisaya pineapple through an arduous process. The extraction of fibers is a most delicate and tedious process. Now we all know how fabrics and textiles are made. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope that it sparked an interest in you about the different textile designs here in Mindanao or even here in the Philippines. Thank you and have a good day.